A great day, everyone. You are listening in today's episode, and to introduce ourselves, I am Henry Dizon.
I am Kate Campat.
Glorilyn Bazar.
I'm Jan Allen El Tabalno.
And I am Bensel Florendo.
And welcome to One's Literature Review Podcast. To start our podcast, our topic for today's episode is all about the Epic of Gilgamesh. But not just the Epic of Gilgamesh, we will talk about also the story on what happened to his friend, the death of Enkidu.
As we all know, Gilgamesh is the semi-mythic king of Uruk in Mesopotamia, and the Epic of Gilgamesh tells a story about the adventure of Gilgamesh and his overwhelming power.
But hey, we're not here to talk about the whole story of Gilgamesh himself. We are here to talk about how did Enkidu dead.
You're right, my friend. That's a fact. It also gave me curiosity what really happened there. Did Enkidu stole something? Or maybe he's an illness? I'm just kidding. As we all know, Enkidu is a strong man, just like Thor, god of thunder. Just kidding aside, the gods made him to be equal strength as Gilgamesh.
So, you're saying that Enkidu comes from the gods? He's being spun just to be as strong as the king of Uruk? Interesting.
Well, indeed Enkidu is really strong. He could have been a great opponent for Gilgamesh. But instead, they become close to each other and become friends.
You are right, Henry. They become friends when they are teamed up against this ranging ball of heaven, the monster Humbaba. As for me, that's what I rather to do. Two is always better than one.
The bull of heaven? Oh, that's when Gilgamesh rejected the goddess Ishtar. She decided to spawn the bull. I mean, if I were Gilgamesh, I may be scared because that's some goddess right there.
They fought the raging bull of heaven as their lives is on the line. If I'm in that situation, I'd rather run. Teaming up is not an option for me when the chances of winning is in 50% or maybe 10%.
Yeah, you can run as you want, Bensel, but you're not Gilgamesh or Enkidu. They fought the bull with full strength and only one goal of killing it.
Definitely yes. After with that decision, Enkidu is being punished. He's being killed by the gods afterwards. That's how powerful the gods and goddesses can become. But after Enkidu's death, Gilgamesh starts his very own personal journey. He seeks out for the Utnapishtim to learn the secret of immortality.
But why? Will Gilgamesh use it as a revenge for the death of his friend?
I think Gilgamesh felt a bit depressed and fear of killing himself after what happened to his friend. But as you may think, the king of Uruk really learned something after all those experiences. Maybe Gilgamesh learned the importance of friendship. And that brings up that Enkidu really did a huge part of this literature.
Lessons? Speaking of lessons, I've also learned that you can't really force someone to love you. There's still little gap that blocks from loving each other. The great example is Gilgamesh, how what happened to Ishtar previous lovers, how she harmed them.
Yes, you're right, Ate G. I've also learned some lessons about this literature. Emotions are really strong in this literature, especially for the side of Ishtar. As a woman, I think it's a bit harsh to make everything more complicated. But because of her power as a goddess, she can kill someone just because Gilgamesh rejected her.
As far as humans, we all have our limitations. We can just decide to spawn a bull and kill somebody just for our personal desires.
Literature really gives us different lives in terms of understanding of it. We learn different lessons and we appreciate the beauty of storylines of literature.
And to wrap it up, I hope so that today's literature review episode will motivate you to read other literature and appreciate the moral of its background.
And that's all, folks. I hope you learned something from our podcast, and if you do, I hope you will do some interest on some other literature again. And once again, I'm John Allen Tabalno.
Henry Dizon.
I am Kate Campat.
Glorilyn Bazar.
And I am Bensel Florendo.
And we are One's Literature Review Podcast.